Hey, Tom McShay.
Hello, Kevin Van Ord.
Well, I didn't see you there. No, the reason I wanted to sit down with you is because I saw a game called Arma 3. And those of you out there know what the Arma series is, which is it's a realistic war simulator. This is a game that lets you do pretty much everything. You shoot, you fly, you scuba, you get in patrol vehicles, and it's all-out war. This is not just a shooter. This is a pretty complex series of calculations almost. I mean, it's very hard to describe, but this really is a simulation of war. I asked you to come along while I talked about it because I know you actually wrote something today about your feelings on how war is glorified because it's really taking war and making it seem super fun.
Yes, yeah, that is exactly the problem. So this is Arma is a war game that's actually about war.
It is a war game
that's
that's
a novel
about
concept
war.
because usually all the realism vanishes once you get to the actual combat in war games, where it's just like a fantasy land of violence.
It is.
So what is Arma like? How does the health system work, for instance?
Well, you lose health. I mean, you can that sounds really super.
You lose health,
ways.
really?
Yes. No, but there are medikits that you use upon others and upon yourself. But it's not just a quick fix. This is not regenerating health, and it's not really there's a med kit, so I'm going to take it and I'm immediately healed. It takes time to actually be healed, and it takes time to actually apply the kit in the first place.
Okay.
So this is not a game in which you just run and gun and you shoot. And Bohemia Interactive, the guys behind Arma 3, are very clear about this is not Call of Duty. You know, this is real war, and we want you to feel that. But at the same time, they're trying to take what Arma 1 and Arma 2 were and give it. They don't want to call it accessible because that's really not the case. They're not making it more accessible. They're just making it more usable.
Okay.
They're giving it interface elements that make a little bit more sense, seeing mission objectives that are a little bit easier to make out, trying to take the controls and make them make more sense. But they're actually adding features, not taking away or streamlining. I mean, you can get... This isn't like a cover shooter, for example. When I get up against cover and it's all very sticky, and you can actually get into different positions. You know, you can lean out. You can actually get back on your haunches and shoot this way. You can get prone, lean this way, get on your back, shoot this way. So you have a mighty amount of control just in how you're positioned alone, let alone in the vehicles that you use and in the guns that you use, and so on and so forth. And it's terrifying out there,
Wow.
And they showed a lot of different things. I mean, it was more focused on getting as much content to us as we could. There wasn't a long stretch where it was just play.
Okay.
But I did see things like what they've done with the visual engine. Arma 2 was not exactly the best running game, and so they're trying to be they want a stable game.
Okay.
And so they're trying to clean that up. They're trying to clean up the AI, but they showed off how the AI really reacts to things. And even how you approach the game world. Dark is dark.
So wait, so is there actual AI? Because Call of Duty's AI is ripped out of the pages from Hogan's Alley, where enemies pop up and you shoot them. Does it have actual
No, it's
AI?
nothing like that. It's AI, where they act like real soldiers. These aren't they're carefully designed environments, but they're not carefully designed in a way so that the enemy you can always know how the enemy is going to react and know where the enemy is going to be. If it's night, you need to turn on that night vision. You need to scope out the environment, see if you can find rustling bushes and that kind of thing.
And are you with a troop? Do you travel with people, or is it the one-man army approach?
You do travel with people. Depending on the mission, you'll have other AI characters along for the ride. But if you want to go off on your own, you certainly have the opportunity to do things the way you want to do. And you can do it underwater. We saw... where you get on a scuba suit, you get underwater, and you can swim towards your mission objectives, and you have special weapons underwater because normal weapons aren't going to work that way. And so they're very cautious about being as authentic as possible. Obviously, they know they're an entertainment product. They still want to have a certain smoothness to the shooting model and that sort of thing. But on the other hand, we've talked about this before about, do games really have to be fun? Yeah. And they understand that entertainment isn't necessarily always fun.
Yeah, you said it's terrifying. It can be scary. It can be engaging in other ways. So this is a game that thinks that people are smart enough to move beyond fun. You're saying?
Yeah, it moves beyond fun to the point where it's tense, it's grueling, it's hard work, and like a lot of games that are tense and grueling and hard work, it's also very rewarding when you come out on top. And just to showcase too again what they're doing, like the engine is beautiful. It's not often that we look at a game that has a realistic art design and we say, "Holy cow, that's gorgeous!" Right? Because there's so much emphasis on
We're
realism.
jaded by real beauty.
Yeah, but this is real beauty. This, you're looking at landscapes that look like you're really there, and you get into helicopters, and the cockpit is so lovingly designed to look authentic. The reef and the fish and everything underneath. It's designed to look like it really might look, and movement looks good. Your movement looks like you might, except for a little bit of weird hip swivel. Everything looks more or less like you'd expect. Soldiers sit there, they swing, if they're sitting there, they swing their legs like they're kind of bored. It all comes together in a way that feels like this is where I am.
Yeah.
I have to fear for my life. I have to protect my buddies. And it all comes together in this way that I think is going to be hopefully really special.
Well,
and Arma 2 was certainly special.
It's nice that there's a war game out there that actually has respect for war and isn't just cashing in as an entertainment and changes what war really is about.
Yeah, this game wants you to feel the grueling nature of what it is, wants you to earn what it is that you're doing. So, Tom McShay, thanks for sitting down with me so I got a chance to gush a little bit about Arma 3, a game that I'm super looking forward to and that continues to show well. It's coming out sometime in 2013. They are polishing, not something that this developer is known for.
Okay.
And they really want to come out of the gate and saying, hey, we can make a super finished product that is also in the spirit of what we've done before.
Well, it's very interesting.
Yeah, so thanks a lot.